I want to talk to you about something that is very important for you to learn now. The word grace and what it really is, what it was given for. Now, I know when we were in Christianity in captivity here in Babel, the daughter of Babel, they told us that when we go to be judged, that JC had already paid the cost for it. So whatever you do here, you're forgiven for it. And then they added, do as you will. That's the heathen world's way. It's not Yahuwah's. He gave us the Day of Atonement. Now, I'm going to give you a perfect example of what a pastor showed me his belief in grace was. We were conversating, and I could tell that he was attracted to me, and I told him, I said, adultery is against our laws. We're not allowed to do that, and we have 618 as Hebrews, not 10. And he said, let me tell you something, young lady. He said, every time I go to my mistress's house, grace meets me at the door. I knew that there was something wrong with that. That's not what grace is. Let me tell you what grace is. First, the grace is the compassion of Yahuwah. That when we were, let's take the holidays since we're there. I'm going to bring you personally that star. Y'all said I want you to tell them. So I'm going to bring that. Let's take the holidays. When we were a part of that, we were asleep. When will you know that it's your time? Yaakov. When my people wake up, Yahuwah said. And that was devastating to this nation, to all of Europe, for us to wake up. When you wake up. The grace is knowing that we were asleep and we knew not what we were doing. Everything they have stolen from us, everything they used against us was something y'all said for us, to Baruch us. The grace was when we had no idea the wickedness that we were taking companionship with, that we were signing ourselves to. And I'm going to tell you something. I tell Father all the time, if you would have woke me up any sooner than you did, I think I would have took my own life. I would not have sat in this. I could not have bared this mentally because we're not cut from the same cloth as the human. We are mankind, and that's why we never get along all the way back to the garden. Y'all said there's always going to be enmity between you and the woman's seed, Satan. It wasn't no damn snake in that fucking garden. Lied to you about everything. The grace was tolerating because he knew it was a punishment and it had been programmed in us. And we lost the covenant through the generations of being in captivity. And old Edom thought they had it made. But no, y'all always knew there was going to, and recorded it, that I'm going to wake them up when their punishment's done. Because he knew we would not be able to tolerate those that truly love him and are a pure heart, like our King David. He saw in him. Cannot tolerate this shit. We feel like we are beautiful fucking lambs in a pool of shit and mess. We don't like to get our coats dirty, but pigs like to waller in it. They're comfortable in it. They love it. They take part in it. And And he sit with those that do it and worship those that teach it. We're not cut from the same cloth. Mankind is not, human is not mankind. We know that today. We know it. The grace was us handing it down to our children. And the ultimate grace was knowing that one day we would wake up and be a bulwark to this fucking people that will not come to the law and do what's right. That's the grace. It's not that you get to do what you want and you got a free man's righteous fucking blood on it. It's like even when we were in the churches doing communion, I had a sick feeling in my stomach. This is not right. This is not correct. I don't understand why we're doing this. It turned out the blood was from a righteous human's body made into apple and into grape juice, but it's significant. It was the act of it. A mass that they had to get to do it. Christ Mass. Christmas. You understand? They need a mass. Or the blood that they shed in closed doors and put the illusions out that they are the holy ones won't work. Because you bust that fucking illusion with knowledge and you get a Hebrew sound mind. That means that you see things through Yahuwah's eyes. You're not deceived. And he gives you his wisdom and his knowledge of it to understand it the way it is. When we were giving our children over to it through the birthdays, he knew he was going to wake us up, that we would not stay there because it never felt right to us anyway. Halloween never felt right. But I was asleep and I was in captivity. My spirit was always rolling and moving, moaning and groaning. And my kids would be like, well, what's wrong with it? I mean, even the church is celebrating. I'm like, yeah. Well, I don't know. And then my daughter said, well, I want to be a witch. I said, fuck no, you're going to be a pillowcase until I find out if this is right or wrong. Now we know. They used their own people and still are as blood sacrifices today. There's no higher blood than the Hebrew that they can offer over to these false fucking gods. Thanksgiving tells you that. The grace is for when you wake up and you come to the understanding of wrong and right. That what's up is and what's down is not the same. You're being tricked. And everything you think it is not what it is. And you come out of her. You come to the walls. Through patience of guiding your life through this punishment and the captivity of it. Because we can all tell you that have come home, that have his spirit in us, and we're coming to get the lost sheep for him. He's always been there in captivity with us. He never left us like David. He was always with us, leading and guiding us with his eye. That's what the penal plan is. He knitted us together around himself in the womb to be our compass through this. And we know his voice. And a stranger we will not follow. And a stranger cannot give us the peace and comfort that we know now. And we will never leave it again. That is grace. And it is also love beyond measure. My head is bowed to all of Jacob. Shalom.